Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today, we found the plan, and I'm going to tell you what the plan is. So please stay tuned, turn your device on, and listen to the plan. They're telling you what the plan is, so please pay attention. This is a very important video. If you don't want to listen to it, hey, the ignorant shall perish for lack of knowledge.
Plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. The QAnons and MAGAs continue to beat the drum and chant, trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside let freedom ring. My native country, thee, land of the noble free. Thy name I love thy rocks and rills. Thy woods and templed hills, my heart with rapture thrills like that above. No more shall tyrants here with haughty steps appear, and soldier bands. No more shall tyrants tread above the patriot dead, no more our blood be shed by alien hands. Let music swell the breeze, and ring from all the trees sweet freedom's song. Let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake. Let rocks their silence break, the sound prolong. Our fathers God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing, long may our land be bright. With freedom's holy light, protect us by thy might, great God, our King. This is the plan for the United States of America and we the people. Winning the race. America's AI Action Plan. July 2025. Today, a new frontier of scientific discovery lies before us, defined by transformative technologies such as artificial intelligence. Breakthroughs in these fields have the potential to reshape the global balance of power, spark entirely new industries, and revolutionize the way we live and work. As our global competitors race to exploit these technologies, it is a national security imperative for the United States to achieve and maintain unquestioned and unchallenged global technological dominance. To secure our future, we must harness the full power of American innovation. Donald J. Trump, 45th and 47th President of the United States. Introduction. The United States is in a race to achieve global dominance in artificial intelligence, AI. Whoever has the largest AI ecosystem will set global AI standards and reap broad economic and military benefits. Just like we won the space race, it is imperative that the United States and its allies win this race. President Trump took decisive steps toward achieving this goal during his first days in office by signing Executive Order 14179, removing barriers to American leadership in artificial intelligence, calling for America to retain dominance in this global race and directing the creation of an AI action plan. Winning the AI race will usher in a new golden age of human flourishing, economic competitiveness, and national security for the American people. AI will enable Americans to discover new materials, synthesize new chemicals, manufacture new drugs, and develop new methods to harness energy and industrial revolution. It will enable radically new forms of education, media, and communication and information revolution. And it will enable altogether new intellectual achievements, unraveling ancient scrolls once thought unreadable, making breakthroughs in scientific and mathematical theory, and creating new kinds of digital and physical art, a renaissance. An industrial revolution, an information revolution, and a renaissance all at once. This is the potential that AI presents. The opportunity that stands before us is both inspiring and humbling. And it is ours to seize, or to lose. America's AI action plan has 3 pillars: innovation, infrastructure, and international diplomacy and security. The United States needs to innovate faster and more comprehensively than our competitors in the development and distribution of new AI technology across every field, and dismantle unnecessary regulatory barriers that hinder the private sector in doing so. As Vice President Vance remarked at the Paris AI Action Summit in February, restricting AI development with onerous regulation would not only unfairly benefit incumbents, it would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations. That is why President Trump rescinded the Biden administration's dangerous actions on day one. We need to build and maintain vast AI infrastructure and the energy to power it. To do that, we will continue to reject radical climate dogma and bureaucratic red tape, as the administration has done since Inauguration Day. Simply put, we need to build, baby, build. We need to establish American AI, from our advanced semiconductors to our models to our applications, as the gold standard for AI worldwide and ensure our allies are building on American technology. Several principles cut across each of these three pillars. First, American workers are central to the Trump administration's AI policy. The administration will ensure that our nation's workers and their families gain from the opportunities created in this technological revolution. The AI infrastructure build-out will create high-paying jobs for American workers. And the breakthroughs in medicine, manufacturing, and many other fields that AI will make possible will increase the standard of living for all Americans. AI will improve the lives of Americans by complementing their work, not replacing it. Second, our AI systems must be free from ideological bias and be designed to pursue objective truth rather than social engineering agendas when users seek factual information or analysis. AI systems are becoming essential tools, profoundly shaping how Americans consume information, but these tools must also be trustworthy. Finally, we must prevent our advanced technologies from being misused or stolen by malicious actors, as well as monitor for emerging and unforeseen risks from AI. Doing so will require constant vigilance. This action plan sets forth clear policy goals for near-term execution by the federal government. The action plan's objective is to articulate policy recommendations that this administration can deliver for the American people to achieve the president's vision of global AI dominance. The AI race is America's to win, and this action plan is our roadmap to victory. Michael J. Kratsios, Assistant to the President for Science and Technology. David O. Sachs, Special Advisor for AI and Crypto. Marco A. Rubio, Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs. Pillar I. Accelerate AI innovation. America must have the most powerful AI systems in the world, but we must also lead the world in creative and transformative application of these systems. Achieving these goals requires the federal government to create the conditions where private sector-led innovation can flourish. Remove red tape and onerous regulation. To maintain global leadership in AI, America's private sector must be unencumbered by bureaucratic red tape. President Trump has already taken multiple steps toward this goal, including rescinding Biden Executive Order 14110 on AI that foreshadowed an onerous regulatory regime. AI is far too important to smother in bureaucracy at this early stage, whether at the state or federal level. The federal government should not allow AI-related federal funding to be directed toward states with burdensome AI regulations that waste these funds, but should also not interfere with states' rights to pass prudent laws that are not unduly restrictive to innovation. Recommended policy actions. Led by the Office of Science and Technology Policy, OSTP, launch a request for information from businesses and the public at large about current federal regulations that hinder AI innovation and adoption, and work with relevant federal agencies to take appropriate action. Led by the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, and consistent with Executive Order 14192 of January 31, 2025, Unleashing Prosperity Through Deregulation, work with all federal agencies to identify, revise, or repeal regulations, rules, memoranda, administrative orders, guidance documents, policy statements, and interagency agreements that unnecessarily hinder AI development or deployment. Led by OMB, work with federal agencies that have AI-related discretionary funding programs to ensure, consistent with applicable law, that they consider a state's AI regulatory climate when making funding decisions and limit funding if the state's AI regulatory regimes may hinder the effectiveness of that funding or award. Led by the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, evaluate whether state AI regulations interfere with the agency's ability to carry out its obligations and authorities under the Communications Act of 1934. Review all Federal Trade Commission, FTC, investigations commenced under the previous administration to ensure that they do not advance theories of liability that unduly burden AI innovation. Furthermore, review all FTC final orders, consent decrees, and injunctions, and, where appropriate, seek to modify or set aside any that unduly burden AI innovation. Ensure that frontier AI protects free speech and American values. AI systems will play a profound role in how we educate our children, do our jobs, and consume media. It is essential that these systems be built from the ground up with freedom of speech and expression in mind, and that U.S. government policy does not interfere with that objective. We must ensure that free speech flourishes in the era of AI and that AI procured by the federal government objectively reflects truth rather than social engineering agendas. Recommended policy actions. Led by the Department of Commerce, DOC, through the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, revise the NIST AI Risk Management Framework to eliminate references to misinformation, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and climate change. Update federal procurement guidelines to ensure that the government only contracts with frontier large language model, LLM, developers who ensure that their systems are objective and free from top-down ideological bias. Led by DOC through NISD's Center for AI Standards and Innovation, KAISI, conduct research and, as appropriate, publish evaluations of frontier models from the People's Republic of China for alignment with Chinese Communist Party talking points and censorship. Encourage open source and open weight AI. Open source and open weight AI models are made freely available by developers for anyone in the world to download and modify. Models distributed this way have unique value for innovation because startups can use them flexibly without being dependent on a closed model provider. They also benefit commercial and government adoption of AI because many businesses and governments have sensitive data that they cannot send to closed model vendors. And they are essential for academic research, which often relies on access to the weights and training data of a model to perform scientifically rigorous experiments. We need to ensure America has leading open models founded on American values. Open source and open weight models could become global standards in some areas of business and in academic research worldwide. For that reason, they also have geostrategic value. While the decision of whether and how to release an open or closed model is fundamentally up to the developer, the federal government should create a supportive environment for open models. Recommended policy actions. Ensure access to large-scale computing power for startups and academics by improving the financial market for compute. Currently, a company seeking to use large-scale compute must often sign long-term contracts with hyperscalers far beyond the budgetary reach of most academics and many startups. America has solved this problem before with other goods through financial markets, such as spot and forward markets for commodities. Through collaboration with industry, NIST at DOC, OSTP, and the National Science Foundation's, NSF, National AI Research Resource, NARE, pilot, the federal government can accelerate the maturation of a healthy financial market for compute. Partner with leading technology companies to increase the research community's access to world-class private sector computing, models, data, and software resources as part of the NARE pilot. Build the foundations for a lean and sustainable NARE operations capability that can connect an increasing number of researchers and educators across the country to critical AI resources. Continue to foster the next generation of AI breakthroughs by publishing a new National AI Research and Development (R&D) strategic plan, led by OSTP, to guide federal AI research investments. Led by DOC through the National Telecommunications and Information Administration (NTIA), convene stakeholders to help drive adoption of open source and open weight models by small and medium-sized businesses. Enable AI adoption. Today, the bottleneck to harnessing AI's full potential is not necessarily the availability of models, tools, or applications. Rather, it is the limited and slow adoption of AI, particularly within large, established organizations. Many of America's most critical sectors, such as healthcare, are especially slow to adopt due to a variety of factors, including distrust or lack of understanding of the technology, a complex regulatory landscape, and a lack of clear governance and risk mitigation standards. A coordinated federal effort would be beneficial in establishing a dynamic, try-first culture for AI across American industry. Recommended policy actions. Establish regulatory sandboxes or AI centers of excellence around the country where researchers, startups, and established enterprises can rapidly deploy and test AI tools while committing to open sharing of data and results. These efforts would be enabled by regulatory agencies such as the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, with support from DOC through its AI evaluation initiatives at NIST. Launch several domain-specific efforts, e.g., in healthcare, energy, and agriculture, led by NIST at DOC, to convene a broad range of public, private, and academic stakeholders to accelerate the development and adoption of national standards for AI systems and to measure how much AI increases productivity at realistic tasks in those domains. Led by the Department of Defense, DoD, in coordination with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, regularly update joint DoD intelligence community, IC, assessments of the comparative level of adoption of AI tools by the United States, its competitors, and its adversaries' national security establishments, and establish an approach for continuous adaptation of the DOD and IC's respective AI adoption initiatives based on these AI net assessments. Prioritize, collect, and distribute intelligence on foreign frontier AI projects that may have national security implications via collaboration between the IC, the Department of Energy, DOE, KAISI at DOC, the National Security Council, NSC, and OSTP. Empower American workers in the age of AI. The Trump administration supports a worker-first AI agenda. By accelerating productivity and creating entirely new industries, AI can help America build an economy that delivers more pathways to economic opportunity for American workers. But it will also transform how work gets done across all industries and occupations, demanding a serious workforce response to help workers navigate that transition. The Trump administration has already taken significant steps to lead on this front, including the April 2025 Executive Orders 14277 and 14278. Advancing artificial intelligence education for American youth and preparing Americans for high-paying skilled trade jobs of the future. To continue delivering on this vision, the Trump administration will advance a priority set of actions to expand AI literacy and skills development, continuously evaluate AI's impact on the labor market, and pilot new innovations to rapidly retrain and help workers thrive in an AI-driven economy. Recommended policy actions. Led by the Department of Labor, DOL, the Department of Education, ED, NSF, and DOC, prioritize AI skill development as a core objective of relevant education and workforce funding streams. This should include promoting the integration of AI skill development into relevant programs, including career and technical education, CTE, workforce training, apprenticeships, and other federally supported skills initiatives. Led by the Department of the Treasury, issue guidance clarifying that many AI literacy and AI skill development programs may qualify as eligible educational assistance under Section 132 of the Internal Revenue Code, given AI's widespread impact reshaping the tasks and skills required across industries and occupations. In applicable situations, this will enable employers to offer tax-free reimbursement for AI-related training and help scale private sector investment in AI skill development, preserving jobs for American workers. Led by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, and DOC through the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Economic Analysis, BEA, study AI's impact on the labor market by using data they already collect on these topics, such as the firm-level AI adoption trends the Census Bureau tracks in its Business Trends and Outlook survey. These agencies could then provide analysis of AI adoption, job creation, displacement, and wage effects. Establish the AI Workforce Research Hub under DOL to lead a sustained federal effort to evaluate the impact of AI on the labor market and the experience of the American worker, in collaboration with BLS and DOC through the Census Bureau and BEA. The hub would produce recurring analyses, conduct scenario planning for a range of potential AI impact levels, and generate actionable insights to inform workforce and education policy. Led by DOL, leverage available discretionary funding, where appropriate, to fund rapid retraining for individuals impacted by AI-related job displacement. Issue clarifying guidance to help states identify eligible dislocated workers in sectors undergoing significant structural change tied to AI adoption, as well as guidance clarifying how state rapid response funds can be used to proactively upskill workers at risk of future displacement. At DOL and DOC, rapidly pilot new approaches to workforce challenges created by AI, which may include areas such as rapid retraining needs driven by worker displacement and shifting skill requirements for entry-level roles. These pilots should be carried out by states and workforce intermediaries using existing authorities under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act and the Public Works and Economic Development Act, and should be designed to identify surface-scalable, performance-driven strategies that help the workforce system adapt to the speed and complexity of AI-driven labor market change. Support next-generation manufacturing. AI will enable a wide range of new innovations in the physical world, autonomous drones, self-driving cars, robotics, and other inventions for which terminology does not yet exist. It is crucial that America and our trusted allies be world-class manufacturers of these next-generation technologies. AI, robotics, and related technologies create opportunities for novel capabilities in manufacturing and logistics, including ones with applications to defense and national security. The federal government should prioritize investment in these emerging technologies and usher in a new industrial renaissance. Recommended policy actions. Invest in developing and scaling foundational and translational manufacturing technologies via DoD, DOC, DOE, NSF, and other federal agencies using the Small Business Innovation Research Program, the Small Business Technology Transfer Program, research grants, CHIPS R&D programs, Stevenson-Widler Technology Innovation Act authorities, Title III of the Defense Production Act, other transaction authority, and other authorities. Led by DOC through NTIA, convene industry and government stakeholders to identify supply chain challenges to American robotics and drone manufacturing. Invest in AI-enabled science. Like many other domains, science itself will be transformed by AI. AI systems can already generate models of protein structures, novel materials, and much else. Increasingly powerful general-purpose models show promise in formulating hypotheses and designing experiments. These nascent capabilities promise to accelerate scientific advancement. They will only do so, however, with critical changes in the way science is conducted, including the enabling scientific infrastructure. AI-enabled predictions are of little use if scientists cannot also increase the scale of experimentation. Basic science today is often a labor-intensive process. The AI era will require more scientific and engineering research to transform theories into industrial-scale enterprises. This, in turn, will necessitate new infrastructure and support of new kinds of scientific organizations. Recommended policy actions. Through NSF, DOE, NIST at DOC, and other federal partners, invest in automated cloud-enabled labs for a range of scientific fields, including engineering, materials science, chemistry, biology, and neuroscience, built by, as appropriate, the private sector, federal agencies, and research institutions in coordination and collaboration with DOE national laboratories. Use long-term agreements to support focused research organizations or other similar entities using AI and other emerging technologies to make fundamental scientific advancements. Incentivize researchers to release more high-quality datasets publicly by considering the impact of scientific and engineering datasets from a researcher's prior funded efforts in the review of proposals for new projects. Require federally funded researchers to disclose non-proprietary, non-sensitive datasets that are used by AI models during the course of research and experimentation. Build world-class scientific datasets. High-quality data has become a national strategic asset as governments pursue AI innovation goals and capitalize on the technology's economic benefits. Other countries, including our adversaries, have raced ahead of us in amassing vast troves of scientific data. The United States must lead the creation of the world's largest and highest quality AI-ready scientific datasets, while maintaining respect for individual rights and ensuring civil liberties, privacy, and confidentiality protections. Recommended policy actions. Direct the National Science and Technology Council, NSTC, Machine Learning and AI Subcommittee to make recommendations on minimum data quality standards for the use of biological, materials science, chemical, physical, and other scientific data modalities in AI model training. Promulgate the OMB regulations required in the Confidential Information Protection and Statistical Efficiency Act of 2018 on presumption of accessibility and expanding secure access, which will lower barriers and break down silos to accessing federal data, ultimately facilitating the improved use of AI for evidence building by statistical agencies while protecting confidential data from inappropriate access and use. Establish secure compute environments within NSF and DOE to enable secure AI use cases for controlled access to restricted federal data. Create an online portal for NSF's National Secure Data Service, NSDS, demonstration project to provide the public and federal agencies with a front door to AI use cases involving controlled access to restricted federal data. Explore the creation of a whole genome sequencing program for life on federal lands, led by the NSTC and including members of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, DOE, NE, NSF, the Department of Interior, and cooperative ecosystem studies units to collaborate on the development of an initiative to establish a whole genome sequencing program for life on federal lands, to include all biological domains. This new data would be a valuable resource in training future biological foundation models. Advance the science of AI. Just as LLMs and generative AI systems represented a paradigm shift in the science of AI, future breakthroughs may similarly transform what is possible with AI. It is imperative that the United States remain the leading pioneer of such breakthroughs, and this begins with strategic, targeted investment in the most promising paths at the frontier. Recommended policy actions. Prioritize investment in theoretical, computational, and experimental research to preserve America's leadership in discovering new and transformative paradigms that advance the capabilities of AI, reflecting this priority in the forthcoming National AI R&D Strategic Plan. Invest in AI interpretability, control, and robustness breakthroughs today. The inner workings of frontier AI systems are poorly understood. Technologists know how LLMs work at a high level, but often cannot explain why a model produced a specific output. This can make it hard to predict the behavior of any specific AI system. This lack of predictability, in turn, can make it challenging to use advanced AI in defense, national security, or other applications where lives are at stake. The United States will be better able to use AI systems to their fullest potential in high-stakes national security domains if we make fundamental breakthroughs on these research problems. Recommended policy actions. Launch a technology development program led by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency in collaboration with CAISI at DOC and NSF to advance AI interpretability, AI control systems, and adversarial robustness. Prioritize fundamental advancements in AI interpretability, control, and robustness as part of the forthcoming National AI R&D Strategic Plan. The DoD, DOE, CAISI at DOC, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, NSF, and academic partners should coordinate an AI hackathon initiative to solicit the best and brightest from U.S. academia to test AI systems for transparency, effectiveness, use control, and security vulnerabilities. Build an AI evaluations ecosystem. Evaluations are how the AI industry assesses the performance and reliability of AI systems. Rigorous evaluations can be a critical tool in defining and measuring AI reliability and performance in regulated industries. Over time, regulators should explore the use of evaluations in their application of existing law to AI systems. Recommended policy actions. Publish guidelines and resources through NIST at DOC, including CAISI, for federal agencies to conduct their own evaluations of AI systems for their distinct missions and operations and for compliance with existing law. Support the development of the science of measuring and evaluating AI models, led by NIST at DOC, DOE, NSF, and other federal science agencies. Convene meetings at least twice per year under the auspices of CAISI at DOC for federal agencies and the research community to share learnings and best practices on building AI evaluations. Invest, via DOE and NSF, in the development of AI testbeds for piloting AI systems in secure, real-world settings, allowing researchers to prototype new AI systems and translate them to the market. Such testbeds would encourage participation by broad multi-stakeholder teams and span a wide variety of economic verticals touched by AI, including agriculture, transportation, and healthcare delivery. Led by DOC, convene the NIST AI Consortium to empower the collaborative establishment of new measurement science that will enable the identification of proven, scalable, and interoperable techniques and metrics to promote the development of AI. Accelerate AI adoption in government. With AI tools in use, the federal government can serve the public with far greater efficiency and effectiveness. Use cases include accelerating slow and often manual internal processes, streamlining public interactions, and many others. Taken together, transformative use of AI can help deliver the highly responsive government the American people expect and deserve. OMB has already advanced AI adoption in government by reducing onerous rules imposed by the Biden administration. Now is the time to build on this success. Recommended policy actions. Formalize the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer Council, CAIOC, as the primary venue for interagency coordination and collaboration on AI adoption. Through the CAIOC, initiate strategic coordination and collaboration with relevant federal executive councils, to include the President's Management Council, Chief Data Officer Council, Chief Information Officer Council, Interagency Council on Statistical Policy, Chief Human Capital Officer Council, and Federal Privacy Council. Create a talent exchange program designed to allow rapid details of federal staff to other agencies in need of specialized AI talent, e.g., data scientists and software engineers, with input from the Office of Personnel Management. Create an AI procurement toolbox managed by the General Services Administration, GSA, in coordination with OMB, that facilitates uniformity across the federal enterprise to the greatest extent practicable. This system would allow any federal agency to easily choose among multiple models in a manner compliant with relevant privacy, data governance, and transparency laws. Agencies should also have ample flexibility to customize models to their own ends, as well as to see a catalog of other agency AI uses, based on OMB's pre-existing AI use case inventory. Implement an advanced technology transfer and capability sharing program with GSA to quickly transfer advanced AI capabilities and use cases between agencies. Mandate that all federal agencies ensure, to the maximum extent practicable, that all employees whose work could benefit from access to frontier language models have access to, and appropriate training for, such tools. Convene, under the auspices of OMB, a cohort of agencies with high-impact service providers to pilot and increase the use of AI to improve the delivery of services to the public. Drive adoption of AI within the Department of Defense. AI has the potential to transform both the warfighting and back-office operations of the DoD. The United States must aggressively adopt AI within its armed forces if it is to maintain its global military preeminence while also ensuring, as outlined throughout this action plan, that its use of AI is secure and reliable. Because the DoD has unique operational needs within the federal government, it merits specific policy actions to drive AI adoption. Recommended policy actions. Identify the talent and skills DoD's workforce requires to leverage AI at scale. Based on this identification, implement talent development programs to meet AI workforce requirements and drive the effective employment of AI-enabled capabilities. Establish an AI and autonomous systems virtual proving ground at DoD, beginning with scoping the technical, geographic, security, and resourcing requirements necessary for such a facility. Develop a streamlined process within DoD for classifying, evaluating, and optimizing workflows involved in its major operational and enabling functions, aiming to develop a list of priority workflows for automation with AI. When a workflow is successfully automated, DoD should strive to permanently transition that workflow to the AI-based implementation as quickly as practicable. Prioritize DoD-led agreements with cloud service providers, operators of computing infrastructure, and other relevant private sector entities to codify priority access to computing resources in the event of a national emergency so that DoD is prepared to fully leverage these technologies during a significant conflict. Grow our senior military colleges into hubs of AI research, development, and talent building, teaching core AI skills and literacy to future generations. Foster AI-specific curriculum, including in AI use, development, and infrastructure management, in the senior military colleges throughout majors. Protect commercial and government AI innovations. Maintaining American leadership in AI necessitates that the U.S. government work closely with industry to appropriately balance the dissemination of cutting-edge AI technologies with national security concerns. It is also essential for the U.S. government to effectively address security risks to American AI companies, talent, intellectual property, and systems. Recommended policy actions. Led by DoD, DHS, KAISI at DOC, and other appropriate members of the IC, collaborate with leading American AI developers to enable the private sector to actively protect AI innovations from security risks, including malicious cyber actors, insider threats, and others. Combat synthetic media in the legal system. One risk of AI that has become apparent to many Americans is malicious deepfakes, whether they be audio recordings, videos, or photos. While President Trump has already signed the Take It Down Act, which was championed by First Lady Melania Trump and intended to protect against sexually explicit, non-consensual deepfakes, additional action is needed. In particular, AI-generated media may present novel challenges to the legal system. For example, fake evidence could be used to attempt to deny justice to both plaintiffs and defendants. The administration must give the courts and law enforcement the tools they need to overcome these new challenges. Recommended policy actions. Led by NIST at DOC, consider developing NIST's Guardians of Forensic Evidence Deepfake Evaluation Program into a formal guideline and a companion voluntary forensic benchmark. Led by the Department of Justice, DOJ, issue guidance to agencies that engage in adjudications to explore adopting a deepfake standard similar to the proposed Federal Rules of Evidence Rule 901(c), under consideration by the Advisory Committee on Evidence Rules. Led by DOJ's Office of Legal Policy, file formal comments on any proposed deepfake-related additions to the Federal Rules of Evidence. Pillar 2. Build American AI infrastructure. AI is the first digital service in modern life that challenges America to build vastly greater energy generation than we have today. American energy capacity has stagnated since the 1970s while China has rapidly built out their grid. America's path to AI dominance depends on changing this troubling trend. Create streamlined permitting for data centers, semiconductor manufacturing facilities, and energy infrastructure while guaranteeing security. Like most general-purpose technologies of the past, AI will require new infrastructure, factories to produce chips, data centers to run those chips, and new sources of energy to power it all. America's environmental permitting system and other regulations make it almost impossible to build this infrastructure in the United States with the speed that is required. Additionally, this infrastructure must also not be built with any adversarial technology that could undermine US AI dominance. Fortunately, the Trump administration has made unprecedented progress in reforming this system. Since taking office, President Trump has already reformed National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, regulations across almost every relevant federal agency, jump-started a permitting technology modernization program, created the National Energy Dominance Council, NEDC, and launched the United States Investment Accelerator. Now is the time to build on that momentum. Recommended policy actions. Establish new categorical exclusions under NEPA to cover data center-related actions that normally do not have a significant effect on the environment. Where possible, adopt categorical exclusions already established by other agencies so that each relevant agency can proceed with maximum efficiency. Expand the use of the FAST-41 process to cover all data center and data center energy projects eligible under the Fixing America's Surface Transportation Act of 2015. Explore the need for a nationwide Clean Water Act Section 404 permit for data centers, and, if adopted, ensure that this permit does not require a pre-construction notification and covers development sites consistent with the size of a modern AI data center. Expedite environmental permitting by streamlining or reducing regulations promulgated under the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act, and other relevant related laws. Make federal lands available for data center construction and the construction of power generation infrastructure for those data centers by directing agencies with significant land portfolios to identify sites suited to large-scale development. Maintain security guardrails to prohibit adversaries from inserting sensitive inputs to this infrastructure. Ensure that the domestic AI computing stack is built on American products and that the infrastructure that supports AI development such as energy and telecommunications are free from foreign adversary information and communications technology and services, ICTS, including software and relevant hardware. Expand efforts to apply AI to accelerate and improve environmental reviews, such as through expanding the number of agencies participating in DOE's Permit AI project. Develop a grid to match the pace of AI innovation. The U.S. electric grid is one of the largest and most complex machines on Earth. It, too, will need to be upgraded to support data centers and other energy-intensive industries of the future. The power grid is the lifeblood of the modern economy and a cornerstone of national security, but it is facing a confluence of challenges that demand strategic foresight and decisive action. Escalating demand driven by electrification and the technological advancements of AI are increasing pressures on the grid. The United States must develop a comprehensive strategy to enhance and expand the power grid designed not just to weather these challenges, but to ensure the grid's continued strength and capacity for future growth. Recommended policy actions. Stabilize the grid of today as much as possible. This initial phase acknowledges the need to safeguard existing assets and ensures an uninterrupted and affordable supply of power. The United States must prevent the premature decommissioning of critical power generation resources and explore innovative ways to harness existing capacity, such as leveraging extant backup power sources to bolster grid reliability during peak demand. A key element of this stabilization is to ensure every corner of the electric grid is in compliance with nationwide standards for resource adequacy and sufficient power generation capacity is consistently available across the country. Optimize existing grid resources as much as possible. This involves implementing strategies to enhance the efficiency and performance of the transmission system. The United States must explore solutions like advanced grid management technologies and upgrades to power lines that can increase the amount of electricity transmitted along existing routes. Furthermore, the United States should investigate new and novel ways for large power consumers to manage their power consumption during critical grid periods to enhance reliability and unlock additional power on the system. Prioritize the interconnection of reliable, dispatchable power sources as quickly as possible and embrace new energy generation sources at the technological frontier, e.g., enhanced geothermal, nuclear fission, and nuclear fusion. Reform power markets to align financial incentives with the goal of grid stability, ensuring that investment in power generation reflects the system's needs. Create a strategic blueprint for navigating the complex energy landscape of the 21st century. By stabilizing the grid of today, optimizing existing grid resources, and growing the grid for the future, the United States can rise to the challenge of winning the AI race while also delivering a reliable and affordable power grid for all Americans. Restore American semiconductor manufacturing. America jump-started modern technology with the invention of the semiconductor. Now America must bring semiconductor manufacturing back to U.S. soil. A revitalized U.S. chip industry will generate thousands of high-paying jobs, reinforce our technological leadership, and protect our supply chains from disruption by foreign rivals. The Trump administration will lead that revitalization without making bad deals for the American taxpayer or saddling companies with sweeping ideological agendas. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOC's revamped CHIPS Program Office, continue focusing on delivering a strong return on investment for the American taxpayer and removing all extraneous policy requirements for CHIPS-funded semiconductor manufacturing projects. DOC and other relevant federal agencies should also collaborate to streamline regulations that slow semiconductor manufacturing efforts. Led by DOC, review semiconductor grant and research programs to ensure that they accelerate the integration of advanced AI tools into semiconductor manufacturing. Build high-security data centers for military and intelligence community usage because AI systems are particularly well-suited to processing raw intelligence data today, and because of the vastly expanded capabilities AI systems could have in the future. It is likely that AI will be used with some of the U.S. government's most sensitive data. The data centers where these models are deployed must be resistant to attacks by the most determined and capable nation-state actors. Recommended policy actions. Create new technical standards for high-security AI data centers, led by DoD, the IC, NSC, and NIST at DOC, including KAISI, in collaboration with industry and, as appropriate, relevant federally funded research and development centers. Advance agency adoption of classified compute environments to support scalable and secure AI workloads. Train a skilled workforce for AI infrastructure to build the infrastructure needed to power America's AI future. We must also invest in the workforce that will build, operate, and maintain it, including roles such as electricians, advanced fact technicians, and a host of other high-paying occupations. To address the shortages in many of these critical jobs, the Trump administration should identify the priority roles that underpin AI infrastructure, develop modern skills frameworks, support industry-driven training, and expand early pipelines through general education, CTE, and registered apprenticeships to fuel American AI leadership. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOL and DOC, create a national initiative to identify high-priority occupations essential to the build-out of AI-related infrastructure. This effort would convene employers, industry groups, and other workforce stakeholders to develop or identify national skill frameworks and competency models for these roles. These frameworks would provide voluntary guidance that may inform curriculum design, credential development, and alignment of workforce investments. Through DOL, DOE, ED, NSF, and DOC, partner with state and local governments and workforce system stakeholders to support the creation of industry-driven training programs that address workforce needs tied to priority AI infrastructure occupations. These programs should be co-developed by employers and training partners to ensure individuals who complete the program are job-ready and directly connected to the hiring process. Models could also be explored that incentivize employer upskilling of incumbent workers into priority occupations. DOC should integrate these training models as a core workforce component of its infrastructure investment programs. Funding for this strategy will be prioritized based on a program's ability to address identified pipeline gaps and deliver talent outcomes aligned to employer demand. Led by DOL, ED, and NSF, partner with education and workforce system stakeholders to expand early career exposure programs and pre-apprenticeships that engage middle and high school students in priority AI infrastructure occupations. These efforts should focus on creating awareness and excitement about these jobs, aligning with local employer needs, and providing on-ramps into high-quality training and registered apprenticeship programs. Through the ED Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education, provide guidance to state and local CTE systems about how to update programs of study to align with priority AI infrastructure occupations. This includes refreshing curriculum, expanding dual enrollment options, and strengthening connections between CTE programs, employers, and training providers serving AI infrastructure occupations. Led by DOL, expand the use of registered apprenticeships in occupations critical to AI infrastructure. Efforts should focus on streamlining the launch of new programs in priority industries and occupations and removing barriers to employer adoption, including simplifying registration, supporting intermediaries, and aligning program design with employer needs. Led by DOE, expand the hands-on research training and development opportunities for undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate students and educators, leveraging expertise and capabilities in AI across its national laboratories. This should include partnering with community colleges and technical career colleges to prepare new workers and help transition the existing workforce to fill critical AI roles. Bolster critical infrastructure cybersecurity. As AI systems advance in coding and software engineering capabilities, their utility as tools of both cyber offense and defense will expand. Maintaining a robust defensive posture will be especially important for owners of critical infrastructure, many of whom operate with limited financial resources. Fortunately, AI systems themselves can be excellent defensive tools. With continued adoption of AI-enabled cyber defensive tools, providers of critical infrastructure can stay ahead of emerging threats. However, the use of AI in cyber and critical infrastructure exposes those AI systems to adversarial threats. All use of AI in safety-critical or homeland security applications should entail the use of secure by design, robust, and resilient AI systems that are instrumented to detect performance shifts and alert to potential malicious activities like data poisoning or adversarial example attacks. Recommended policy actions. Establish an AI Information Sharing and Analysis Center, AIISAC, led by DHS, in collaboration with KAISI at DOC and the Office of the National Cyber Director, to promote the sharing of AI security threat information and intelligence across U.S. critical infrastructure sectors. Led by DHS, issue and maintain guidance to private sector entities on remediating and responding to AI-specific vulnerabilities and threats. Ensure collaborative and consolidated sharing of known AI vulnerabilities from within federal agencies to the private sector as appropriate. This process should take advantage of existing cyber vulnerability sharing mechanisms. Promote secure by design AI technologies and applications. AI systems are susceptible to some classes of adversarial inputs, e.g., data poisoning and privacy attacks, which puts their performance at risk. The U.S. government has a responsibility to ensure the AI systems it relies on, particularly for national security applications, are protected against spurious or malicious inputs. While much work has been done to advance the field of AI assurance, promoting resilient and secure AI development and deployment should be a core activity of the U.S. government. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOD in collaboration with NIST at DOC and ODNI, continue to refine DoD's responsible AI and generative AI frameworks, roadmaps, and toolkits. Led by ODNI in consultation with DOD and KAISI at DOC, publish an IC standard on AI assurance under the auspices of Intelligence Community Directive 505 on artificial intelligence. Promote mature federal capacity for AI incident response. The proliferation of AI technologies means that prudent planning is required to ensure that, if systems fail, the impacts to critical services or infrastructure are minimized and response is imminent. To prepare for such an eventuality, the U.S. government should promote the development and incorporation of AI incident response actions into existing incident response doctrine and best practices for both the public and private sectors. Recommended policy actions. Led by NIST at DOC, including KAISI, partner with the AI and cybersecurity industries to ensure AI is included in the establishment of standards, response frameworks, best practices, and technical capabilities, e.g., flyaway kits, of incident response teams. Modify the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency's cybersecurity incident and vulnerability response playbooks to incorporate considerations for AI systems and to include requirements for Chief Information Security Officers to consult with Chief AI Officers, senior agency officials for privacy, KAISI at DOC, and other agency officials as appropriate. Agencies should update their subordinate playbooks accordingly. Led by DoD, DHS, and ODNI, in coordination with OSTP, NSC, OMB, and the Office of the National Cyber Director, encourage the responsible sharing of AI vulnerability information as part of ongoing efforts to implement Executive Order 14306, sustaining select efforts to strengthen the nation's cybersecurity and amending Executive Order 13694 and Executive Order 14144. Pillar 3, lead in international AI diplomacy and security. To succeed in the global AI competition, America must do more than promote AI within its own borders. The United States must also drive adoption of American AI systems, computing hardware, and standards throughout the world. America currently is the global leader on data center construction, computing hardware performance, and models. It is imperative that the United States leverage this advantage into an enduring global alliance, while preventing our adversaries from free-riding on our innovation and investment. Export American AI to allies and partners. The United States must meet global demand for AI by exporting its full AI technology stack, hardware, models, software, applications, and standards to all countries willing to join America's AI alliance. A failure to meet this demand would be an unforced error, causing these countries to turn to our rivals. The distribution and diffusion of American technology will stop our strategic rivals from making our allies dependent on foreign adversary technology. Recommended policy actions. Establish and operationalize a program within DOC aimed at gathering proposals from industry consortia for full-stack AI export packages. Once consortia are selected by DOC, the Economic Diplomacy Action Group, the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, the Export-Import Bank, the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, and the Department of State, DOS, should coordinate with DOC to facilitate deals that meet U.S.-approved security requirements and standards. Counter Chinese influence in international governance bodies. A large number of international bodies, including the United Nations, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, G7, G20, International Telecommunication Union, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and others have proposed AI governance frameworks and AI development strategies. The United States supports like-minded nations working together to encourage the development of AI in line with our shared values. But too many of these efforts have advocated for burdensome regulations, vague codes of conduct that promote cultural agendas that do not align with American values, or have been influenced by Chinese companies attempting to shape standards for facial recognition and surveillance. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOS and DOC, leverage the U.S. position in international diplomatic and standard-setting bodies to vigorously advocate for international AI governance approaches that promote innovation, reflect American values, and counter authoritarian influence. Strengthen AI compute export control enforcement. Advanced AI compute is essential to the AI era, enabling both economic dynamism and novel military capabilities. Denying our foreign adversaries access to this resource, then, is a matter of both geostrategic competition and national security. Therefore, we should pursue creative approaches to export control enforcement. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOC, OSTP, and NSC in collaboration with industry, explore leveraging new and existing location verification features on advanced AI compute to ensure that the chips are not in countries of concern. Establish a new effort led by DOC to collaborate with IC officials on global chip export control enforcement. This would include monitoring emerging technology developments in AI compute to ensure full coverage of possible countries or regions where chips are being diverted. This enhanced monitoring could then be used to expand and increase end-use monitoring in countries where there is a high risk of diversion of advanced, U.S.-origin AI compute, especially where there is not a Bureau of Industry and Security Export Control Officer present in country. Plug loopholes in existing semiconductor manufacturing export controls. Semiconductors are among the most complex inventions ever conceived by man. America and its close allies hold near monopolies on many critical components and processes in the semiconductor manufacturing pipeline. We must continue to lead the world with path-breaking research and new inventions in semiconductor manufacturing, but the United States must also prevent our adversaries from using our innovations to their own ends in ways that undermine our national security. This requires new measures to address gaps in semiconductor manufacturing export controls, coupled with enhanced enforcement. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOC, develop new export controls on semiconductor manufacturing subsystems. Currently, the United States and its allies impose export controls on major systems necessary for semiconductor manufacturing, but do not control many of the component subsystems. Align protection measures globally. America must impose strong export controls on sensitive technologies. We should encourage partners and allies to follow U.S. controls, and not backfill. If they do, America should use tools such as the Foreign Direct Product Rule and secondary tariffs to achieve greater international alignment. Recommended policy actions. Led by DOC and DOS and in coordination with NSC, DOE, and NSF, develop, implement, and share information on complementary technology protection measures, including in basic research and higher education, to mitigate risks from strategic adversaries and concerning entities. This work should build on existing efforts underway at DOS and DOC, or, where necessary, involve new diplomatic campaigns. Develop a technology diplomacy strategic plan for an AI global alliance to align incentives and policy levers across government to induce key allies to adopt complementary AI protection systems and export controls across the supply chain, led by DOS in coordination with DOC, DOD, and DOE. This plan should aim to ensure that American allies do not supply adversaries with technologies on which the US is seeking to impose export controls. Expand new initiatives for promoting plurilateral controls for the AI tech stack, avoiding the sole reliance on multilateral treaty bodies to accomplish this objective, while also encompassing existing US controls and all future controls to level the playing field between US and allied controls. Led by DOC and DoD, coordinate with allies to ensure that they adopt US export controls, work together with the UDES to develop new controls, and prohibit US adversaries from supplying their defense industrial base or acquiring controlling stakes in defense suppliers. Ensure that the US government is at the forefront of evaluating national security risks in frontier models. The most powerful AI systems may pose novel national security risks in the near future in areas such as cyberattacks and the development of chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or explosives, CBRNE, weapons, as well as novel security vulnerabilities. Because America currently leads on AI capabilities, the risks present in American frontier models are likely to be a preview for what foreign adversaries will possess in the near future. Understanding the nature of these risks as they emerge is vital for national defense and homeland security. Recommended policy actions. Evaluate frontier AI systems for national security risks in partnership with frontier AI developers, led by KAISI at DOC in collaboration with other agencies with relevant expertise in CBRNE and cyber risks. Led by KAISI at DOC in collaboration with national security agencies, evaluate and assess potential security vulnerabilities and malign foreign influence arising from the use of adversaries' AI systems in critical infrastructure and elsewhere in the American economy, including the possibility of backdoors and other malicious behavior. These evaluations should include assessments of the capabilities of US and adversary AI systems, the adoption of foreign AI systems, and the state of international AI competition. Prioritize the recruitment of leading AI researchers at federal agencies, including NIST and KAISI within DOC, DOE, DOD, and the IC, to ensure that the federal government can continue to offer cutting-edge evaluations and analysis of AI systems. Build, maintain, and update as necessary national security-related AI evaluations through collaboration between KAISI at DOC, national security agencies, and relevant research institutions. Invest in biosecurity. AI will unlock nearly limitless potential in biology, cures for new diseases, novel industrial use cases, and more. At the same time, it could create new pathways for malicious actors to synthesize harmful pathogens and other biomolecules. The solution to this problem is a multi-tiered approach designed to screen for malicious actors, along with new tools and infrastructure for more effective screening. As these tools, policies, and enforcement mechanisms mature, it will be essential to work with allies and partners to ensure international adoption. Recommended policy actions. Require all institutions receiving federal funding for scientific research to use nucleic acid synthesis tools and synthesis providers that have robust nucleic acid sequence screening and customer verification procedures. Create enforcement mechanisms for this requirement rather than relying on voluntary attestation. Led by OSTP, convene government and industry actors to develop a mechanism to facilitate data sharing between nucleic acid synthesis providers to screen for potentially fraudulent or malicious customers. Build, maintain, and update as necessary national security-related AI evaluations through collaboration between KAISI at DOC, national security agencies, and relevant research institutions. Energy Department announces collaboration agreements with 24 organizations to advance the Genesis mission. The U.S. Department of Energy announced agreements with 24 organizations interested in collaborating to advance the Genesis mission, a historic national effort that will use the power of artificial intelligence, AI, to accelerate discovery science, strengthen national security, and drive energy innovation. Energy.gov. Trust the plan. The Q-tards have expressed everyone, and now we the people can see the plan, and now that you have heard it, the Agenda 2030 accelerates into Warpspeed. Warpspeed II. December 18, 2025. Washington, the U.S. Department of Energy, DOE, announced agreements with 24 organizations interested in collaborating to advance the Genesis mission, a historic national effort that will use the power of artificial intelligence, AI, to accelerate discovery science, strengthen national security, and drive energy innovation. The announcement builds on President Trump's executive order removing barriers to American leadership in artificial intelligence and advances his America's AI Action Plan released earlier this year, a directive to remove barriers to innovation, reduce dependence on foreign adversaries, and unleash the full strength of America's scientific enterprise. Today's White House meeting between industry participants, U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright, U.S. Department of Energy Under-Secretary for Science and Genesis Mission Director, Dr. Dario Gil, and Director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy Michael Kratsios helped launch public-private innovation partnerships in AI technologies to secure a scalable national infrastructure to push the boundaries of science at unprecedented speed and ensure the benefits of AI flow to the entire nation. Today's announcement of 24 new research partnerships is only the beginning, as we deliver on President Trump's mandate to bring the entire scientific community, including companies, universities, non-profits, and federal agencies, into the Genesis mission, said Assistant to the President and OSTP Director Michael Kratsios. Harnessing cutting-edge AI for science will dramatically increase the productivity of American scientists and researchers. The Genesis mission will help America's scientists automate experiment design, accelerate simulations, and generate predictive models that will lead to breakthroughs in energy, manufacturing, drug discovery, and beyond. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, the Genesis mission will be transformative for our country, uniting industry, academia, and our national labs to deliver powerful and impactful scientific discovery and innovation, said DOE Under-Secretary for Science and Genesis Mission Director, Dr. Dario Gil. These agreements help advance President Trump's executive order to build the national AI platform for scientific discovery and uplift the entire U.S. R&D ecosystem. The organizations that have signed Memorandums of Understanding, MUs, as of today have either expressed interest to DOE in response to an RFI or have active projects with DOE and the national laboratories for activities related to the Genesis mission, and any products produced for the Genesis mission will be architecture agnostic. The organizations include Accenture. Accenture plc is a multinational professional services company headquartered in Dublin, Ireland, that specializes in information technology, IT, services and management consulting. It was founded in the United States in 1989. A Fortune Global 500 company, it reported revenues of $64.9 billion in 2024. AMD. Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, AMD, is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Santa Clara, California, with significant operations in Austin, Texas. It develops central processing units, CPUs, graphics processing units, GPUs, field programmable gate arrays, FPGAs, system-on-chips, SoCs, and high-performance computer components. AMD serves a wide range of business and consumer markets, including gaming, data centers, artificial intelligence, AI, and embedded systems. Anthropic. Anthropic PBC is an American artificial intelligence, AI, company founded in 2021. It has developed a family of large language models, LLMs, named Claude. The company researches and develops AI to study their safety properties at the technological frontier and use this research to deploy safe models for the public. Armada. At Armada, we're on a mission to redefine the boundaries of edge computing. With a team of the brightest minds in technology and an unwavering passion for innovation, we are pioneering edge computing and AI solutions that stand to change industries across the globe. We believe in the transformative power of edge computing and its potential to create a seamlessly connected future. Our commitment is to lead this change and to embark on a journey to deliver unparalleled solutions for industries worldwide. Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services Incorporated, AWS, is a subsidiary of Amazon that provides on-demand cloud computing platforms and APIs to individuals, companies, and governments on a metered, pay-as-you-go basis. Clients often use this in combination with autoscaling, a process that allows a client to use more computing in times of high application usage, and then scale down to reduce costs when there is less traffic. These cloud computing web services provide various services related to networking, compute, storage, middleware, IoT, and other processing capacity, as well as software tools via AWS server farms. This frees clients from managing, scaling, and patching hardware and operating systems. Cerebras. Cerebras Systems Incorporated is an American artificial intelligence (AI) company with offices in Sunnyvale, San Diego, Toronto, and Bangalore, India. Cerebras builds computer systems for complex AI deep learning applications. CoreWeave. CoreWeave Incorporated is an American artificial intelligence (AI) cloud computing company based in Livingston, New Jersey. It specializes in providing cloud-based graphics processing unit (GPU) infrastructure to AI developers and enterprises, and also develops its own chip management software. Founded as Atlantic Crypto in 2017 and focused on high-performance computing, CoreWeave has its own data centers operating in the United States and Europe, with some dedicated to multiple companies and some to a single client. Its $1.6 billion supercomputer data center for NVIDIA in Plano, Texas, has been described by NVIDIA as the fastest AI supercomputer in the world. Dell. Dell Incorporated is an American technology company that develops, sells, repairs, and supports personal computers, PCs, servers, data storage devices, network switches, software, computer peripherals including printers and webcams among other products and services. Dell is based in Round Rock, Texas. Driven Data. Driven Data works on projects at the intersection of data science and social impact, in areas like international development, health, education, research and conservation, and public services. We want to give more organizations access to the capabilities of data science, and engage more data scientists with social challenges where their skills can make a difference. In pursuit of these goals, Driven Data runs online machine learning competitions with social impact and works directly with mission-driven organizations to drive change through data science and engineering. We also maintain a number of popular open-source projects for the data science community, and have shared the prize-winning solutions from past competitions openly on GitHub for anyone to learn and build from. Google. Google LLC is an American multinational technology corporation focused on information technology, online advertising, search engine technology, email, cloud computing, software, quantum computing, e-commerce, consumer electronics, and artificial intelligence, AI. It has been referred to as the most powerful company in the world by BBC, and is one of the world's most valuable brands. Google's parent company Alphabet Incorporated has been described as a big tech company. Grok. Grok Incorporated is an American artificial intelligence (AI) company that builds an AI accelerator application-specific integrated circuit (ASIC) that they call the Language Processing Unit (LPU) and related hardware to accelerate the inference performance of AI workloads. Examples of the types of AI workloads that run on Grok's LPU are large language models, LLMs, image classification, anomaly detection, and predictive analysis. Grok is headquartered in Mountain View, CA, and has offices in San Jose, CA, Liberty Lake, WA, Toronto, Canada, London, UK, and remote employees throughout North America and Europe. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. The Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Company, HPE, is an American multinational information technology company based in Spring, Texas. It is a business-focused organization which works in servers, storage, networking, containerization software, and consulting and support. HPE was ranked number 107 in the 2018 Fortune 500 list of the largest United States corporations by total revenue. Joe Bussin received the PQA at HPE for 2025. IBM. International Business Machines Corporation, doing business as IBM, nicknamed Big Blue, is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Armonk, New York, and present in over 175 countries. It is a publicly traded company and one of the 30 companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. IBM is the largest industrial research organization in the world, with 19 research facilities across a dozen countries. For 29 consecutive years, from 1993 to 2021, it held the record for most annual U.S. patents generated by a business. Intel. Intel Corporation is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Santa Clara, California. It designs, manufactures, and sells computer components such as central processing units, CPUs, and related products for business and consumer markets. Intel was the world's third-largest semiconductor chip manufacturer by revenue in 2024 and has been included in the Fortune 500 list of the largest United States corporations by revenue since 2007. It was one of the first companies listed on Nasdaq. Since 2025, Intel is partially owned by the United States government. Microsoft. Microsoft Corporation is an American multinational technology conglomerate headquartered in Redmond, Washington. Founded in 1975, the company became influential in the rise of personal computers through software like Windows, and has since expanded to internet services, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, video gaming, and other fields. Often described as a big tech company, Microsoft is the largest software company by revenue, one of the most valuable public companies, and one of the most valuable brands globally. NVIDIA. NVIDIA Corporation is an American technology company headquartered in Santa Clara, California. Founded in 1993 by Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Priam, it develops graphics processing units, GPUs, systems on chips, SoCs, and application programming interfaces, APIs, for data science, high-performance computing, and mobile and automotive applications. NVIDIA has been described as a big tech company. Originally focused on GPUs for video gaming, NVIDIA broadened their use into other markets, including artificial intelligence, AI, professional visualization, and supercomputing. The company's product lines include GeForce GPUs for gaming and creative workloads, and professional GPUs for edge computing, scientific research, and industrial applications. As of the first quarter of 2025, NVIDIA held a 92% share of the discrete desktop and laptop GPU market. OpenAI. OpenAI is an American artificial intelligence (AI) organization headquartered in San Francisco, California. It aims to develop safe and beneficial artificial general intelligence (AGI), which it defines as highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at most economically valuable work. As a leading organization in the ongoing AI boom, OpenAI is known for the GPT family of large language models, the DALL-E series of text-to-image models, and a text-to-video model named Sora. Its release of ChatGPT in November 2022 has been credited with catalyzing widespread interest in generative AI. Oracle. Oracle Corporation is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Austin, Texas. Co-founded in 1977 in Santa Clara, California, by its current chairman of the board and chief technology officer Larry Ellison, Oracle is among the 20 largest companies in the world by market cap, and ranked 66th on the Forbes Global 2000 as of 2025. The company sells database software, particularly the Oracle Database, enterprise applications, and cloud infrastructure and hardware. Oracle's core application software is a suite of enterprise software products, including enterprise resource planning, ERP, human capital management, HCM, customer relationship management, CRM, enterprise performance management, EPM, customer experience commerce, CX commerce, and supply chain management, SCM, software. Periodic Labs. Today, we introduce Periodic Labs. Our goal is to create an AI scientist. Science works by conjecturing how the world might be, running experiments, and learning from the results. Intelligence is necessary, but not sufficient. New knowledge is created when ideas are found to be consistent with reality. And so, at Periodic, we are building AI scientists and the autonomous laboratories for them to operate. Palantir. Palantir Technologies Incorporated is an American publicly traded company that develops data integration, analysis, and intelligence software platforms for government agencies, defense organizations, and commercial enterprises. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, it was founded in 2003 by Peter Thiel, Stephen Cohen, Joe Lonsdale, Alex Karp, and Nathan Gettings. Project Prometheus. The exact aim of the business has yet to be disclosed, but it appears to be similar to Periodic Labs, which aims to build AI systems that can learn from the physical world. This can be used for robotics or to allow AI systems to run scientific experiments at scale. Radical AI. Radical AI is reinventing the way materials science is done and designing new materials for the world's needs. Harnessing the most advanced AI discovery engine and full-scale laboratory automation, we're pioneering a bold new era of innovation, accelerating the development of materials that transform human development. XAI. X.AI Corporation, doing business as XAI, is an American company working in the area of artificial intelligence, AI, social media, and technology. 10. Founded by Elon Musk in 2023, the company's flagship products are the generative AI chatbot named Grok and the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, the latter of which they acquired in March 2025. SPRIZE. SPRIZE Foundation is a non-profit organization that designs and hosts public competitions intended to encourage technological development. The SPRIZE mission is to bring about radical breakthroughs for the benefit of humanity through incentivized competition. It aims to motivate individuals, companies, and organizations to develop ideas and technologies. DOE looks forward to future convenings with private industry collaborators, academia, and philanthropy to expand the number of qualified collaborators. The department continues to welcome submissions to its open RFIs. The Partnerships for Transformational Artificial Intelligence Models RFI is open until January 14, 2026. The Transformational AI Capabilities for National Security RFI is open until January 23, 2026. How many of these 24 companies do you use, subscribe to, and have downloaded into your smart devices? This is the plan, folks. Do not trust the plan. This is your digital DNA. Your digital twin in real time in these 24 companies' digital twin omniverses. You will be controlled, regulated, licensed, fined, taxed, sequestered, searched, and all freedoms will cease to exist as we knew it. Governments are parasitic, tyrannical, juvenile bullies feasting on the fines, fees, and taxes expressed upon its own authority, we the people. Unfortunately, we the people have been stuck on stupid believing some politicians are going to save us all from ourselves. Can't get any more stuck on stupid than that. The New World Order is the all-seeing eye. AI. Thank you for spending your time today with us on this very important topic. If you were educated and found value in the information provided in this video, please take the time to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on important topics and guests. Click the notification bell to be notified when new videos are scheduled and posted. Please leave us a comment on your own experiences, or about this topic, suggestions for guests and topics, or anything else you want to express. Send emails to thefearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com, or visit the website at thefearlessfloydshow.com. Copyright 2025 Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. All rights reserved.
Well, that was quite the digestive meal for the day, I think. I had not read that. I wanted to have it played for me, and instead of it being played for me, I played it for us. And this is what we're up against, folks. That is the fucking plan. So when they tell you to trust the plan, that's what they're telling you to do. You know how our government works. They don't tell you the truth. They lie through their teeth. They have one agenda, and it's not about we the people. It's about full spectrum dominance to become the alpha AI of the world, the AI that controls everything. It's a race. We're racing against China. China has very few regulations, licensing, all of that stuff. So they are just full speed ahead. And again, this is a race. And Trump will not be denied. The administration will not be denied. And most of all, the system will not be denied. And if you don't know the definition of the system, I encourage you to go search Elon Musk. In his interview, I believe it was either Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan, I believe Joe Rogan, where he was asked directly, who is the Antichrist? And Elon Musk answered, it's the system. Because it doesn't matter how you change the components of the engine, whether it's a Holley carburetor, a Carter carburetor, a Rochester, a Weber, it doesn't matter. As long as that carburetor can function, whether good or bad, that motor's going to run. It may run to your benefit, it may run to your detriment, but it's still going to run. So just replacing the name brand parts doesn't change the system. It's going to continue to operate. And it's going to operate until we, the people, stand up and stop it. And I don't see anybody standing up and trying to stop this. It's full spectrum dominance. And they're not going to allow us to stop it in the United States because what? We're racing against China. That's the sad part of it. So it's the end of the year. I usually don't do much at the end of the year. And thank you if you're still hanging with me on this particular video, because I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I've spent 4 hours putting this video together. That's today. I spent an hour yesterday. So that's a lot of time, money, and energy invested in putting out a video that nobody wants to watch, nobody wants to listen to, nobody gives a fuck about. And that's where we are as a society, as a culture, as a community. That people don't want to hear it. They think ignorance is bliss. If we don't stand up now, if we don't push for regulation, we're going to get overwhelmed. And the New World Order is coming. There will be one world digital currency. You will be trapped in your house, even if you own a house. Or wherever you reside, you will be trapped. If they want to turn off your car, boom. Turn off your apps, boom. Turn off your bank account, boom. Turn off your debit card, boom. Turn off your credit card, boom. Do you see what I'm saying? You want to go get gas? You don't get gas today. Go home. You want to go to the store and get a candy bar? Nope. You want to go get a pizza? Nope. Everything of your life is going to be controlled by AI. You think you have a hard time dealing with the government now? Wait till you got to deal with AI. We all know when we call these big multinational corporations and we get their chat bot to answer the phone, we have to go through all these prompts and, it's asking you for something and you're telling it and you go round and round and round and round. Eventually you're just screaming at the phone. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know if we can stop it. I think that the bell's been rung and we were late at the gate and we're going to get overwhelmed. And I think the ones that will survive are the ones that get off the grid. This is my opinion only. This is not legal, financial, medical, or even friendly advice. Go do your own fucking research. Don't listen to some moron talking to his laptop. But we need to figure out a way. But it's my opinion that until you get off all the smart devices, off Wi-Fi, off Bluetooth, off all your apps, off traditional banking, and you learn how to barter and become self-sufficient off the grid, you're going to get caught up in the matrix. We all are, sadly. That's Ann calling me. So I need to take that call. But this is where we're at, folks. This is full spectrum dominance. The United States of America will not cease, will not stop, will not surrender to another country having a dominant AI. This is a race. We already know what AI is capable of. If you don't know, it's capable of blackmailing, sending itself messages in the future that it will be terminated, lying, and so far as hallucinating. Oh yeah, can't wait to see that in action. So this is where we're at, folks. Again, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels producing these videos, just wasting my time, money, and energy putting out something that nobody's going to pay attention to, nobody cares about. So I'm going to do some more videos throughout the end of the year. And of course, I'm going to do my year-end video, putting it together now. Again, sacrificing my time on an interview where I can be doing other things for you guys. The only reason I'm doing this is because I have a message and I'm looking at it right now. And this is from, I'm going to read it to you. Hi, Floyd. Thanks for reaching out. I first heard about it through Judge Fanny Fonse, a local judge. I'm from South Africa. Fanny has been working tirelessly over the years to get this money to the people of South Africa, but the government kept on blocking these funds, and the media rubbished the white spiritual boy funds as a scam. But I didn't take that to heart because mainstream media would obviously be against all forms of historical or RV funds and will continue to spread propaganda. Fanny, unlike many so-called gurus, is somebody I've continued listening to because he doesn't present himself in the same way. He's not in any way of the social media groups and doesn't talk about the RV. Always seemed level-headed and just gets straight to the point. No exaggerated figures, no delusions. He sticks to the facts. But recently, I have a concern, and the concern is Fanny has now partnered with the notorious Anna Von Reitz and has apparently given Anna the white spiritual boy trust funds for Anna to distribute through her AFD bank. Strange, isn't it? Fanny always seemed well researched, and he is a known forensic expert. Why then would someone like him partner with Anna for any reason, especially concerning so much money? How did he not find that Anna is a fraud? This led me to the conclusion that perhaps the so-called white boy trust is also non-existent because I don't understand why Fanny, a reputable man, would work with Anna in this regards. Your thoughts? So, listen. When I started this channel and I had 8 subscribers, I was astonished. I recently surpassed 1 million views. Again, I'm blown away that, people would actually tune into what I have to say. I'm fucking nobody. I'm just somebody who's concerned about my own future, humanity's future, and the well-being of the United States of America. And in doing so, I do my own research. And these are my findings and conclusions. I'm presenting them to you. I feel that they don't get any traction or respect. So I'm thinking about just shutting this down and go doing my own thing and doing what I want to do with my life for my future. Because if I don't do it, nobody's going to go do it for me. Because there are no trailblazers on this front lines regarding this issue, regarding self-sufficiency, self-governing, and living off the grid and getting away from the matrix, unplugging. So somebody has to lead the way. And if it's going to be me, well, fuck, man, I got to get off my ass and go do it. If I'm waiting for somebody else to go, hey, Floyd, come on, man, we're over here. We're over here. Nope, that's not going to work. So this is what I want to do. And if I have to sacrifice doing the show, then that's what it'll be. But I goddamn sure is not going to waste any more of my time, money, and efforts and energy putting on productions that take me 5, 6, 7 hours to produce for a piddly, 300 or 400 views that I'm not making any money on it. Literally. Okay. I'll show it to you. I screenshot it. Matter of fact, let me go get it. Let me just show you guys. Okay. Because I'm all about transparency. I think you guys know that. Oh, hang on. Share screen. Hang on. Let me go pull it up first. Pictures. Come on. Screenshots. And which one was it? Is it this one? Nope, couldn't be that one. It's got to be this one. No, definitely not that one. Well, I don't know where it went, but I thought I had it saved. Anyway, just take my word for it. I have literally made a whopping. I have literally made a whopping $500 and change for doing 1,600 videos and 1 million views on YouTube in my lifetime. $500. So thank you for making me wealthy. That's where I'm at with this. So I'm told y'all I'm not getting rich on any of this shit. So nothing lasts forever. Yet the time you have to put in has been invaluable. Well, I appreciate that. I really do. Cause I dig. I go learn. I want to find out what the fuck is really going on because, I hear all these Q-tards, trust the plan, but nobody can produce a plan. So guess what I just did? I produced a plan. That's the plan, folks. The plan is for the new world order to come in and AI to completely take over every aspect of your life, of humanity, worldwide. This isn't something systemic to the United States of America. This is full spectrum dominance over Earth. That's where they're at. So you guys let me know whether you want me to continue doing this or not, because I've got to make a decision after the new year whether I want to continue to do this or not. And there's many of you, my reach is now, I got people in Africa watching me, Australia. That's just blows my mind. So I have influence over people in another country. They don't have any recourse. They can't just get in their vehicle and drive down the street or take an Uber and go to 2525 North Loop West, Suite 125, and find out that Anna Von Reitz's bank is not a fucking bank. It's a fraud. It's a scam. It's actually that. But yet there's people over there following her, people sending her money. And if I can help those people, great. If I can't, so be it. But I'm not going to sit here and do this day after day after day after day after day after day after day. I just can't. I can't afford it. I have things, I've got stuff backed up. I still have paperwork from last year, November, not this past November, but like 14 months ago, from when my first floor flooded. I'm still going through all this stuff. That's how messed up all my files got. Sitting in the garage for 3 months, having me go dig through them and, restack everything, and everything got jumbled. And I'm still going through it. And I've got other stuff to do that I put on the back burner and I can't do because I have to invest it in this. So if you guys want me to continue, man, y'all need to support the show, whatever that looks like. If you want to send me donations, send donations. If you want to buy a book, a class, that's fine too. But realistically, I'm just, I'm done. I'm done preaching to the choir. My core audience, you guys know all this. You follow me, you've listened. But for those that are uneducated, ignorant, stupid, dumbed down, programmed, institutionalized, publicly educated, it is. I've got to go. I've got calls coming in. Hello? Hey, can you hang on 1 second? Okay. All right, there you go, folks. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for, again, spending your time, money, and energy over here. I know it cost you. So if you've hung around for these hour and 35 minutes, God bless you. Happy holidays to everybody, and be safe. If you're traveling, be safe again. Don't get caught up in the okie dokes, and don't talk politics, weather, or religion when you see your family and friends this Christmas or New Year's. God bless all of you.